Hey there, folks. It's me, Chris, with the Gigman's Life. Yeah, baby. It's a Gigman's Life indeed. And of course, if you wouldn't mind, please hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you can get notified about the latest videos as they come available on the channel. But spoiler alert, Monday through Friday by 10 a.m. there's always going to be a fresh new video here on the channel for your consideration. And this is one of those times where things that can help you out, just the little humanities, like having charge cables for people's phones. Great thing now is that Apple is using USB-C, so Lightning will be phasing out eventually, but having the Lightning cable is always a good thing to have. So is some like having water bottles, and this is the big thing that happens. If you buy a no brand water, some people won't touch it. Sometimes they're not the best bottles in the world, and so forth. You buy the big bottles, the big long bottles. You'll end up having people crack those things open, take a couple of slugs, put it back down. Now you got a bottle that somebody else is going to grab and go, oh, this bottle's been opened already. Any excuse, folks. Any excuse that a passenger can use to bitch about, they'll use it. So, what I mainly suggest, if you're going to go and provide water in the back of the vehicle, brand names, Poland Springs, Nestle, basically Nestle, and the small 8-ounce bottles. The reason why I suggest those smaller bottles than the bigger bottles is you can fit more of them in. Mostly if somebody is drinking it, they're going to finish it. And it's a lot less waste, so it's a smaller waste footprint that you can smush down, put in, and take care of. Because it's just what it is. And you can take care of those quite easily during the day. Make sure it's fresh. Always make sure I'm going and getting some of these is the doggy mats, for training dogs, or you just don't want to use paper, which is just one big diaper. Sometimes it might be a good idea to have them just in case. Especially if you're going to end up having animals in the car. That's a great thing to go and have, especially for dogs. You can't afford the mess and the time down from a mess, because that can ruin your day, especially if you don't catch it and the customer is not being honest. These are things that happen. I would also suggest them for some of the elderly passengers, just because when they get up in age, they can have problems. And that caused me to lose a whole Friday, even though I got paid $80. I also lost the next trip, any profit from that, and just was set back emotionally from it because I had to let the car dry and clean out. You know, you can't just let it go back out after you clean it. You just can't. So yeah. And transferring files is a lot. My policy is to store as much data to see how much it will take until I fill up the drives so that it's interesting to see. So far I am 3 months back of storing videos, but also I have allowed the platform to record my rides now, as long as I have proof for myself of what happened. They play a game of going like this and saying, oh, well, you can take this recording and send it in for an evaluation of the situation. And with that, that's fine and good, but then again, it might not capture everything. Having other cameras to capture it and making sure that they're well visible. Because if it's not a hidden camera, it's pretty much sure that it's recording. And no matter what, the best way for a person to not consent to recording is not providing anything else. Because remember, what the police say is you have the right to remain silent. As a passenger, you do. As a driver, I do. But at the same token, maybe a little communications, a little bit of respect to each other goes a lot longer than bitching about, well, I want the camera off. Well, tough shit. It's there for my protection as well as yours. Because here's the thing. If I'm the last person to see you at the last location, you get missing and they call the cops, they're going to track back and see, I left you at this location. I didn't go back. I didn't do anything wrong. I have no consideration in the game except that we know the timing. We know that you left at that time. Because God forbid anything happens after you leave. Because I don't need those questions. No, siree, Bob, I don't need your shit. I got enough tracking on my car privately. You know, because I know there's a GPS tracker because of having a car loan. I have a GPS tracker that I have installed that gives me a Wi-Fi hotspot, which my cameras are connected to. So they don't just record on site, they go and send it to the cloud. because general safety is you've walked into it, you're already known. You know, spoiler alert, that's a lot of ways people protect themselves and how I do it and how I would suggest it. So, you know, I'm still thinking of adding more cameras, but I have financial constraints right now. I have $1,700 to pay back for the repairs on my car, which were general maintenance, believe it or not. A new battery, a serpentine belt, flushing of my brake fluid, flushing of my radiator, my coolant system, you know, those were the main, and an alignment. Those were the main things. They had, of course, new tires, spark plugs, and coils, which it's a little bit questionable because it's already on its fourth set of spark plugs. I change them. You know, this is how you reach 1,000,000 miles in a vehicle. Is one part of it is driving the car like you're not an asshole. And the other part is doing the maintenance. The simple fucking everyday maintenance that's required. When you do that, you treat your car like an employee, because it is the most valuable employee you have when you're doing any of these gig apps. And even if you're not, you're going to and from work, that's getting you there. So yes, it's a very valuable employee and you should respect it as much as possible, not abusing it. You want to go zipping around and acting like it's Fast and Furious, that you're the transporter, or any other fucking bullshit chasing movie action star fucker that you can imagine, because you gotta drive, baby, drive like an asshole. Guess what? Drive like an asshole, get damaged like an asshole, pay more car insurance like an asshole, and
cry like a bitch
when you don't have a car anymore because you are an asshole. And I know this isn't monetized. You know, I'm using a lot of cursey words. But if you want to keep a car, you want to work it, then you got to take care of it and treat it with love and respect. Because if you don't, then it ain't gonna love you, it ain't gonna respect you, and
crying like a bitch
is what you're going to do. So yeah, you know, these are simple suggestions. You know, I'm not saying you have to do this, but it wouldn't hurt just like everybody who's videotaping themselves driving, providing evidence for that accident that any good lawyer, and I hate to be the person to say this, but a personal injury lawyer should be looking at people, seeing whether or not they're door dashing, yerking the Uber. And what are they going to do? They're going to go and look up your social media presence. Look at mine. Okay? I'm not promoting shitty driving, because distracted driving, because, oh, if I'm talking to the camera, looking over, I'm not looking at going forward. I'm already going like this and going, okay, I got a pickup here. Listen to the GPS, get your ass there, have some music going so you keep your brain functioning. But don't sit there and provide evidence for when you crash the car. Because no matter what, it's not a matter of if you're going to be in an accident. It is a matter of when. And, thank God I have not had an accident while driving any of these platforms. And I do very defensive, because if I see a car that's got damage, I give it a wide berth. I don't want to be around it, because I don't want rubbing off on my car. And on top of it, if a person's got a lot of damage on their car, they don't give two shits about yours. Because it's apparent they don't give two shits about their own vehicle. It also might be that they don't have the money to fix their own vehicle. But either way, do you want the hassle of being hit by them, or even being accused of touching their car? No. That's time out of your day. Time out of your day is money out of your pocket. And I know there's going to be other people watching this, talking about it later in the comments. And fine and dandy, I'll love to see the comments made. But still, these are just suggestions. Take them with a grain of salt. Like, man who charges way too much for having his body flavor go and get sprinkled on your steak, because you had the meme boy sprinkle that shit on your steak. So yes, as always, people, I'm sorry, but you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. This is the end of the video. I thank you very much for watching. I appreciate the time that you spend to go and watch these videos, and I hope that you have a stellar day, the day that you should have wished upon others should happen to you. So just be safe out there, and thank you again for watching this video.